Hello and welcome back. So in our previous sessions, we talked about sketching in Inventor and the concepts of sketching in Inventor. We tried an introduction to Autodesk Inventor, and moving forward, we will be seeing how to do modeling in Autodesk Inventor. So when you see this top ribbon, you can see different options for modeling in Inventor. We will see a few of them today, and we will see more advanced options in next session. So first of all, these are the basic features: extrude, revolve, sweep, loft, coil, emboss, derive, rib, decal, import and unwrap. Okay. Among these, extrude, revolve, sweep, loft are the most used features in Inventor modeling. So we will see them one by one today. We will start by a sketch. We will select the top plane. We will start the sketch. Just imagine that we want to design a shaft and gear system, and for that we need three parts. One is gear, one is shaft and one is key. So first of all, we will try to design a shaft. Just remember that we are going for this system because in assembling we will use these parts to assemble them. Okay. So first of all, we will design a shaft. So there are two methods to design a shaft. Either we can use extrude method or either we can use revolve feature. We will try to do it by both the methods. First of all, we will select circle option and we will make a circle, say of 1 inch. Here is the extrude feature. When we select extrude, it will detect the sketches, how many profiles are there, and then it will make an extrude out of it. So we can now give measurements of what height we want of that extrude. So here I am selecting 5 inches. We also have options to change the direction of the extrude, make it symmetric to the plane you have made the sketch on, or you can give dimensions on both the directions of that plane. Here I am keeping it unidirectional, and since there is only one profile in our sketch, here one profile is selected automatically. In extrude command, we can select multiple profiles too. For example, this is only for example, we are making a rectangle, we are adding a rectangle in our circle and a line to dissect that rectangle. So when I am finishing the sketch and I am double clicking on this extrusion feature, remember that on the left side of that panel you can see a model tree where you will find whatever operations and features you are using in your model here one by one. And so whenever you need to edit any feature or make changes to any features or sketches, you can just click, you can just select and click them from here in the model tree. So double clicking on that extrusion 1, I will find different options which I can edit in our pre-made extrusion. So now you can see that I can select multiple profiles here. If I select this, the shape will be changed. If I select this, shape will be changed. To deselect any profile, just press Ctrl and then click on the profile you want to deselect. So you can see that we can select multiple profiles in extrusion feature and in any other feature which we will use in Inventor. Okay, so we are moving forward with our basic cylindrical extrusion here. Then there will be a change of radius. So I will, yes, and another thing, Once an extrusion is made, you can select the faces, flat faces of that extrusion to make new sketches too. So I will select this face for the sketch, and then I will make a wider radius, a more bigger radius for the continuation of the shaft part. So here I will select 2 inches and then I will extrude again. I will give 2 inches of height. So I will edit the height to 5 inches for more aesthetic view. Okay, so now you can just imagine that this is our simple and basic shaft with 2 different diameters. So we made this shaft using the extrusion features, and we needed 2 extrusions to complete this shaft, but we could have done this shaft only in one feature by using the revolve feature. So now we will see how revolve feature is used. In revolve feature, you have to imagine that the part you are going to model is symmetric over axis. Okay, so you will make the sketch of only half part of that part around an axis, and then you will revolve that sketch around that axis. We will see that in practical use now. We will select a plane and we will start sketching. So the diameter we selected, first of all we will give a one height of that shaft, and that will also be the axis of that shaft. So we gave 5 plus 5, total 10 inches of that height. The smaller diameter was 1 inch, so the radius will be 0.5 inch. Its height was 5 inches. Then there was a bigger diameter. The diameter of that bigger part was 2 inch, and so its radius will be 1 inch. So now we have made a half sketch of that shaft from our axis from here. Okay, if you are confused in giving dimensions, then what you can do is, in giving diameters, you can make this axis a central line from here. Okay, so now if you give the dimensions from that central line, it will come in inches, so you won't get confused. You will know that these are the diameters you are giving and what will be the exact diameter. Okay, since we need this sketch to be fully constrained, then we have to draw another line making this sketch fully constrained. Now we will go on revolve command. Since there is only one profile, it will get automatically selected, and since there is only one center line, it will automatically get selected and a revolution will be created. So we needed only one revolve command in making this shaft. Similarly, if we have different numbers of diameters across a shaft, we can make it only using only one revolve command. But if we want to keep it simple, we can make it through extrusion, but then there will be a lot of extrusions we need to make a simple shaft. So we prefer making it through revolve because every diameter information is in one sketch and we can edit it simply. So this was extrusion and revolve. Now we will see a sweep feature. In sweep feature, we have to create two sketches. One sketch is the profile or the shape we need for that definite feature, and other is the path. So I will just make an extrusion, simple extrusion, to give you an example that what you how you need to use sweep. Just imagine that there is a rectangular part which have hollow which is hollow from the center. Imagine that part is 50 by 50 is equal. We are assuming it to be equal. We'll use extrude feature. Since we can select multiple profiles, we will select the outer profile. We will give its height to be 5 inches. Okay, so this is a rectangular part or a plinth, and we want to make it, this is just an example because sometimes the profile will not be rectangular. See, if you see the cross section of this part, you will see that the cross section here is a rectangle or a square, but sometimes that part will not be a square or a simple rectangle, and maybe the profile of this cross section will vary and it will be complex to make through a simple extrusion. So in that case we will use sweep profile. Okay, so first of all we will try to make the same rectangle through sweep, and then we will use a complex profile so that we can understand why sweep is used. So as I said, we need two sketches in using sweep. One will be the profile and one will be the path. So I am selecting front plane and starting a new sketch. First of all, let us select the top plane and make a path for that profile. We will keep it simple and we will make a rectangular path only, 50 by 50. So this is the path. Then we will select a plane which is located on any line of that of the path sketch, and we will start sketching. In sketching we have an option of project geometry. So if we are making a new sketch and if we have already made sketches or extrusions and we want to take reference of that sketch or that extrusion, then we have to select project geometry. We will click on this line and you can see that a point is being generated here and a square symbol will be assigned to that point, and it signifies that it was a projected geometry. So we will make a rectangle here on this point. We made it 5 by 5 inch, so here also will make it 5 by 5 inch. Finish sketch. So now we have two sketches. This smaller square is the profile or the cross section of the part which we need to generate, and the bigger circle, bigger square or rectangle is the path of that profile. So we will click on sweep. First of all we need to select the profile, so we will select this sketch and the profile will be logged. Then we will select the path. We will click OK. So now you can see that the same simple square with hollow cavity is generated, but it is generated by sweep. So now a question will arise in your mind that a simple this item can be generated by a simple extrude command, then why will anyone use a complex command like sweep and make two sketches for using it? So the answer lies in sometimes that the profiles we made here is simple and it's only a rectangle, but sometimes what happens that the profile we need is a complex one. Like if you are making some artistic or woodworks, then you will need a complex profile. Like if the profile is something like this, Okay, just assume that the profile cross section of that part is like this only. Now see that this was a complex profile, but it was made just in one command using sweep. Just imagine that if you try to make this part by using an extrude command, then how much extrusions would you need to make this simple part, which was completed using only one sweep feature. So this way, the approach can be different. Someone likes extrusion more or revolve more, then they can go with their intuition of what do they like, which feature do they like. There is no rule that we have to use specific features for making specific parts. You can go according to your convenience. Okay. So we saw extrude, revolve, and sweep. Now we will see loft. Loft is very similar to sweep. We have to make two sketches, but what happens is loft is not like there is a profile and we will give a path. It is like there are two profiles and we have to join that profile. For example, if you want to make a part which is square on the base and circular on the top, you can make it using loft feature. So first of all, we will make a base sketch and we will start sketching on the top plane. We will make a simple rectangle for our understanding. We will keep it 5 inch by 5 inch and we will finish the sketch. Now the second profile will be on a parallel plane which is offset from the plane we used for the first sketch. So we used the top plane. Now we will have to make another plane which is offset to the top plane. Let's assume that the plane is 10 inches offset from the top plane. We will start sketching on this new plane. We will try to make it aligned to the base plane. So we will try to make both the center points in on one axis. So we will generate a new circle here. Let's assume the dimension of that circle is 4 inches. We will now finish the sketch. We will save the part. Now we will select loft command. We will select both the sketches and you can see that a part is generated whose base is square and top is circular. So in this way we can use loft commands. So today we saw 4 basic features in modeling in Autodesk Inventor: extrude, revolve, sweep and loft. These are the most used features in modeling, and I hope that you understood well and you will practice by yourself, and you can ask if you have any doubts in the comment section. If you like the video, just subscribe to my channel and share with your friends, and subscribe for future similar videos. Thank you.